News First investigates the tangle of red tape around prescription drugs. It's leaving a lot of doctors frustrated.
It sure is. Now, despite being the ones to actually write prescriptions, some say they lack true control over what medications their patients are available to take, thanks to so-called insurance middlemen. Atlanta News First investigator Rachel Polanski is here to tell us about permission to prescribe. Rachel.
Yeah, that's right. These middlemen are actually pharmacy benefit managers, or PBMs. And while they've been around for half a century, they've come under scrutiny in recent years, oftentimes when patients are not able to get the medications their doctors prescribe. In partnership with our national investigative team, we dug into this complicated system here in Georgia and across the country.
Doctors' offices across the country strangled by red tape.
There's so many things wrong with this system.
It seems simple. Go to the doctor. An expert identifies a medical problem and hopefully finds a solution. But that's when the system can take over. A network of people and policies outside the office that influence and even overrule that doctor's professional opinion. A convoluted system of red tape. Mike Phillips got caught up in the red tape. He remembers days in his early 40s when he felt twice his age.
The back hurts, the arms hurts, the knees hurt, you can't stand up, it's hard to sleep, all of those things.
Doctors diagnosed him with psoriatic arthritis, an inflammatory autoimmune disease that has no cure, but can be managed with medication. His doctor found the right medication that got control of his symptoms, until his family had to change insurance companies, and he learned the drug that worked would no longer be covered.
They never gave me any medical justification for the switch whatsoever.
Phillips had to change drugs because his new insurance had a different list of medicines it would cover, called a formulary. These lists are put together for insurance companies by pharmacy benefit managers, middlemen controlling which prescriptions get paid for, meaning sometimes what patients are able to take is in direct opposition to what a doctor thinks is best.
It's a financial decision instead of a medical decision.
It's 100% a financial decision.
The PBMs, these middlemen, were designed to create buying power for insurers. Their argument, they save money by securing the lowest net cost for medications.
And then in those instances where there's robust competition in a particular therapeutic area, right? So there's several different drug manufacturers making a treatment for a particular condition, and they all work equally well, then the PBM can use some of those process steps to try and encourage the physician and the patient to look to the most affordable, most effective option first.
Our analysis of standard drug plans published online by the 3 largest PBMs found examples of drugs preferred by one PBM but excluded by others, and found even for those usually cheaper generic medicines, there can be restrictions or hoops to jump through.
And people have said, yes, they're practicing medicine without a license. Well, their answer to that is, doctor, you can prescribe whatever you want. We're not telling you what to prescribe. We're just telling you what we'll pay for.
But financial decisions have physical consequences.
I've had patients that have lost control of their disease. I've had patients that have had to go on higher doses of steroids, and their blood sugar goes up, their blood pressure goes up.
PBMs claim these situations are outliers.
So you think these are exceptions that we're talking about?
I do.
But doctors across the country have told federal regulators the red tape put in place by PBMs is hurting their patients.
It's not against the law. As I like to call it, it's perfectly legal and perfectly wrong.
And patients like Mike Phillips are left tangled up in the debate over who really has permission to prescribe.
And when you're dealing with things like I'm dealing with, your autoimmune disorder, and there's no medical justification behind it, switching for money just isn't a good reason to switch.
And that was Lee Zurich reporting for Atlanta News First Investigates. Meanwhile, there are ongoing efforts by lawmakers at both the state and federal levels to rein in the power of pharmacy benefit managers, or PBMs. Just a few months ago, a Georgia bill that took aim at PBMs sailed through the House of Representatives, but fell apart in the Senate. It's likely that bill will be introduced next legislative session. Tracy, Alan?
And Rachel, some of those names look very familiar, the PBMs, the middlemen. What are they saying about all this?
Right, so we talked with the trade group that represents these PBMs. They argue new rules could increase healthcare costs. Instead, they say the way to go is improving technology. One solution they suggest, getting patient electronic medical records accessible across all healthcare providers and insurance companies.
All right,
Alan.
Rachel, thank you.